What is going on, YouTube? Park of the Basshead here. In today's video, we're doing a full review of the CT Sounds Tropo 10s. Let's get into this. That's right, guys. Today we have the CT Sounds Tropos. These are, of course, the 10-inch versions, and we have two of them. We're going to be running over them and then throwing them in a box, seeing how they sound, checking out their excursion, and then running some torture tests through these things just to see what they can take. This should be fun. First off, let's see what we got going on here. Guys, at the moment, these things are $99. Not bad at all. I'll leave a link in the description below so you can check them out. But let's see what we got over here. You got dual 4 ohm or dual 2 ohm. We'll do dual 4. Of course, 650 watts RMS, 1300 watts max. These have a 2.5 inch 4-layer high temp copper voice coil, Y30 grade double stack magnet. I believe your Y35 is your higher grade ferrite motors. So I'm not 100% sure. Y'all let me know if a Y30 is better or worse than a Y35. We have a nice high roll foam surround. The cone is a paper cone with 3% carbon fiber reinforcement. We have the round weaved copper tinsel leads, 12 gauge push terminals. Frequency response is 41.5 hertz. Sensitivity is 86.42 dB. And we have 11 millimeters of X max. And then for box specs, there's our cutout diameter. There, of course, the sizes. It wants a 0.8 cubic foot sealed box or a 1 cubic foot ported box tuned to 36 hertz. That's if you want a more flat response for sound quality. Or, of course, if you want it to go more SPL, you could do 1.5 cubic feet tuned to 35 hertz. Real quick, of course, let's just check over this thing. Of course, we have this nice high roll surround. We have the double stitching, pretty stiff dust cap. Of course, your cone, not super stiff, but this is a very cheap sub. You don't need it to be very stiff. Now, of course, to save cost, we do have a stamped steel basket, but that is not a big deal. Gets the job done. We have nice soft spiders, which again, for a cheaper sub is nice. You won't need a ton of power to get this thing moving. You, of course, have venting around the sides. Moving over here, you can see we do have 2 strands of tinsel leads. I really like that. That is awesome for a $100 sub. Normally, you just see one little thin one. And here are 12 gauge terminals. Now, I do wish they had a little bit bigger terminals on here. It is a little tough to squeeze 2 strands of wire in there. If you're running, if you're, of course, running in parallel and you're running 2 wires to the same thing, but that's okay, is what it is. Now, the main thing I don't like about this is this basket. That little part in there is quite flimsy where this piece of metal has been over. Actually, when I got these, they were bent in where they must have been just leaned up against something or dropped. Not a big deal, but if you were to drop this, guys, you can kind of see how that one's a little bit more bent over on this side. Yeah, not a big deal. You just got to be careful. If you were to drop these, you could snap that off pretty easily. For this test, y'all, we have got this Scar ported dual 10-inch box. I really do like these boxes for a decently budget, prefab box. They are tuned well below 30 hertz. Most of these are in the mid 30s. And overall, this is just a nicely built, awesome sounding box. Great for your entry guy who wants to get into bass and wants something that sounds good. Much better than going with one of those really cheap eBay boxes. let's do the dB test on these things. All right, everything is hooked up. Let's turn this guy on. We have this set to dyno power. Starting out at 35 hertz. Okay, two little tins, guys. We got a 134.3. Y'all, and that was up to 3,448 watts on these things. All right, let's set this to 40 hertz, see what we can do. All right, look at that, getting a little better. 135.9, and that it went up to 2,700 watts. We have this set at 45 hertz now. Let's see what we get. Knocked the thing off. Oh, dang it, guys. Oh, let's see if we can get it back on there. Try it again. Woo, look at that. 137.2 on $200 10-inch subs. Y'all, this car is definitely not set up for SPL whatsoever. I have tons of leaks and whatnot, but hey, not too bad. That was at 2,500 watts. All right, next up, let's do the musical RMS test on these things, just to see if they can make it through a full song, keeping it around that 12 to 1,500 watts. Let's see what happens. All right, they made it through. They did definitely get a little warm, but I was pushing it pretty hard. We were peaking up to 2,200 watts, really staying between 600 to like 1,500 most of the time. Hey, they made it through. They did all right. All right, it's getting dark out here, but let's play a couple of real lows just so y'all can see these things move. Then I guess we'll wrap it up. Guys, as you can see there, those things take a pretty good beating. They really stretch out nicely, and they don't have that weird like bottoming out sound that some subs will have when you're really pushing a ton of power through them and that excursion is really maxing out. So hey, for 99 bucks, these things are pretty cool, guys. Well, y'all, it's freezing. I gotta get inside and get to some editing, so that's gonna do it for this video. I appreciate each and every one of you. Hope you have or have had a very Merry Christmas, depending on when I upload this. But hey, all right, guys, that's gonna do it. Remember, as always, keep basing on.